which kind of takes us then to another thing about working in PowerPoint, and that's the ability to kind of create your own illustrations. And these are images that I actually used from the blog. So they're all graphics created in PowerPoint, and they're all pretty simple to create. And you'll have in that link I gave you earlier, it has links to all of those tutorials so you can see how those things were built. The main thing here I would say is when you look at those tutorials, a couple things. One is I try to go out and look for like Adobe Illustrator tutorials, and there's a lot of them online. Just type in Illustrator tutorials. And what I'll try to do is find tutorials that where I like the output, and then try to figure out how would I create that in PowerPoint. Because the drawing tools are very similar in the sense that you can put any type of shape on the screen, and then you can fill it and manipulate the shape pretty much any way you want to in PowerPoint. So then it's just a matter of how do I do that in PowerPoint. What I like about the Illustrator tutorials and practicing what I learned from those tutorials and applying it to PowerPoint isn't so much like in this case, I don't necessarily find a lot of use for an envelope icon. But the fact is when I go do that tutorial, it teaches me more about how to use the features in PowerPoint, how to create the curved shapes, how to work with the gradients, how to apply those things, and then how to see or think about those things in different ways. And the first time you create it, it's going to be a little slower, but eventually you'll get to a point where you can do it pretty quickly. In fact, this monitor here is really just a matter of, I think, two or three shapes. I think it's a rounded rectangle shape that's just changed a few times. So we've got the rounded rectangle shape that makes the TV, a rounded rectangle shape here with a gradient. It's actually here is just not filled, and it's just a gradient line on it. And then we have the gradient line to kind of create the highlight on this. And then we have the circular shape with the exact same gradient to it and just applied a couple ways. But it's really just made up of two or three shapes, and it only takes a few minutes to build, or once you get used to that. So I would say look at some Illustrator tutorials, look at some of the icons of those things, try to rebuild those in PowerPoint, and soon you'll become really fast at doing that. And you'll be able to create the types of illustrations or graphics that you need for your product.